So, good day everyone. Today we are going to annotate the poem Sagada Stills in a Floating World by Marjorie Evasco. So, this poem is a poem that captures the essence of tranquility and surreal beauty found in the town of Sagada. The poem portrays the scenes and moments as if they exist in a dreamlike, ethereal world, creating a sense of calm and otherworldly charm. So, based on the poem, I have identified one only epithet, which is the phrase Master of Austere. And this can be considered as an epithet because we all know that an epithet is a descriptive term or phrase used to characterize a person, often highlighting a particular quality or trait they possess. So, in this case, the Master of Austere, which is the phrase, is used as an epithet to describe someone who excels in embodying austerity and leading a simple, disciplined life. To proceed with the annotation, we also have the graphological deviation. So, as I have observed, this is a graphologically deviated poem, but that is on my own understanding. And to give you a background, a graphologically deviated poem intentionally diverges from conventional text formatting, utilizing creative variations in spacing, font styles, and arrangement to visually emphasize and symbolize themes, evoke emotions, and engage readers. So, this departures from norm enhances expression, invites multiple interpretations, and blurs the lines between literature and visual art, ultimately fostering a unique and immersive reading experience that challenges conventions while deepening the poem's impact. So, as I have observed, this is very observable from or in the poem Sagada Stills in a Floating World. So, for the nature of literariness of this poem, the poem Sagada Stills in a Floating World demonstrates the nature of literariness through its skillful use of metaphor and symbolism. So, the poem transforms a simple act of capturing images into a profound exploration of identity, connection, and artistic creation. So, the metaphoric blending of visual and textual elements such as the phrases photographic film on silk paper, this phrases creates a sensory and imaginative experience for the reader. And the poem's focus on the words you and me suggests a personal and universal dimension, which this is a way of inviting readers to contemplate their own existence and relationship. So, another thing is that the reference to the phrase 1,000 years and the phrase master of austere, the words light, measure, masfir, and shikivo, wherein masfir or masfire is a Filipino photographer, while Shikibo is a Japanese female novelist. So these words adds a historical and cultural depth, wherein this intertwining different these words helps intertwine different layers of meaning. So the poem's visual arrangement and deliberate use of line breaks engage the reader in a thought-provoking exploration, making it a prime example of literariness. So, in the poem Sagada Stills in a Floating World, we also have the different styles of variation. First is the metaphorical variation, wherein the poem employs metaphorical language to convey complex ideas such as capturing images to the phrases on photographic film and the phrase on silk paper. So this metaphor adds depth and imagery to the act of preserving memories. Now, apart from that, we also have the pronoun variation wherein the poem use wherein the use of pronouns I and you alternates throughout the poem. So this creates a dynamic interplay between the speaker's self and the addressed individual. So this variation reflects shifting perspectives and emotions. On the other hand, we also have the visual variation wherein the poem's layout includes intentional line breaks, which is very observable, right? So, again, the poem's layout includes intentional line breaks and spacing, which visually emphasize certain words and phrases, encouraging the reader to pause and reflect on their significance. We also have the cultural variation wherein the reference to masphere and shikibo and the concept of the phrases to learn the process, and which can be partnered to the phrases of rendering and of staining. In it introduces cultural and historical allusions, enriching the poem's context and meaning. And another variation that is visible or that is identifiable in the poem is the temporal variation, wherein the concept of 1,000 years, or to sit 1,000 years, implies a vast stretch of time, contrasting with the immediate act of capturing images. So this temporal variation adds a sense of timelessness and significance. And another variation is the repetition variation, wherein the repetition of the phrases you would have or would have creates a rhythmic pattern and emphasizes the idea of dedication and effort required to learn an artistic process. Another, or the last variation that is evident to the poem is the imaginary variation, wherein the hypothetical scenarios of capturing images were with the phrases if with images and the phrase if with words introduce an element of imagination and possibility, encouraging the readers to consider the what ifs. So that's it for the styles of variation that can be spotted within the poem. Now, for the lexical collocation that is or that can be spotted from the poem, we have our first example, which is the phrase photographic film, or originally we have it in the poem on photographic film. So the words photographic and film naturally collocate to describe the medium used for capturing image. Another example is the phrase on silk paper. So the words silk and paper form a collocation describing the material on which the likeness is captured. Third example is the phrase a likeness of you, of me. So this is not a straight phrase, but this is a paired phrases because it appears separately in the poem or in the poem. So in the poem, so the likeness of is a phrase wherein it is a collocation that often appears before describing a representation of someone. Like for example, the likeness of then blank. So I hope you have understood, or I hope that is understandable. So another phrase from the poem is 1,000 years. So 1,000 and years frequently appear together to signify an extended period of time. And we also have a paired phrase wherein it is the phrase with the master of austere, wherein it is paired with the word light. So we now have the Master of Austere Light. So Master of and Austere Light collocate to emphasize someone's expertise in a particular field. Another is that the phrases rendering off and I know the of rendering and of staining. So rendering and staining collocate to describe the process of creating images. So these collocations, which are observable in the poem, contribute to the poem's flow, meaning, and style by using words that naturally go together, enhancing the overall impact of the language. So that's all for our annotation of the poem Sagada Stills in a Floating World. And I really do hope that that annotation could help you also understand the poem. And I also hope that I have given you the right and accurate information. And if not, you are free to correct me. So that's it. Thank you for listening. Have a good day.